Hi there, and thank you for tuning into our webinar. My name is Hope Dorman, and I'm a member of the industry marketing team here at Houzz. Today, we have a special guest who will share insights from the 2020 House and Home Study. Marine Sargsyan is here with us. She's our senior economist, and we're grateful that she's here to share her analysis for our pro community. Marine, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Hope. Thanks so much for having me again. I'm glad to share the findings from our House and Home Survey, which is the largest publicly available survey of residential remodeling and decorating activity in the US. The 2020 survey fielded between January 2nd and March 5th, and we collected responses from over 87,000 house users in the US. Note that this was fielded prior to the sheltering in place orders related to the coronavirus pandemic.
Thank you for that great overview. This report has a lot of interesting and worthwhile data, and we encourage you to review the whole study, which you can find on houzz.com/research. Today, however, we're going to cover 6 key highlights and takeaways. We'll talk about the median renovation spend and how it differs across the top metros, which projects are the most popular, which types of professionals are more frequently hired, which age groups renovate most, and homeowners' motivations for renovating. For our first question, I'm sure our audiences want to know, what's new this year in terms of renovation spending?
Great. So for the first time since 2015, we note that the national median spend has declined from 15,000 to 13,000. When we scrutinize this even further, we note that there is a slight uptick in the share of projects where people and homeowners are spending up to 10,000 on their home renovations, and subsequently slight decline in projects with larger spend amounts compared with 2018 and 2017. However, it is worth noting that 2 in 3 renovating homeowners spent more than 10,000 on their home renovation in each of the past 3 years. Indeed, the top 10% of spenders in 2019 invested 80,000 or more in their homes, very similar to the findings in 2018. In addition to asking our homeowners to report how much they spend on their projects in a given year, we asked them to report their planned spend in the subsequent years. The national planned median spend was consistently reported at 10,000, with the top 10% of spenders planning to spend 50,000 or more. Although median spend on home renovations decreased in 2019 compared with the previous years, it is still higher than the national planned spend for 2019 as it was reported in 2018. Hence, it is not surprising that 31% of our renovating homeowners reported going over the budget in 2019. And the reason for that were the products or services were more costly than they have expected. Homeowners decided to buy more expensive products and materials, and also because sometimes projects turn out to be more costly than they have expected initially. To go even deeper, in terms of the spend on renovation projects, we observe a decline in the median spend on kitchens to 12,000 from a peak spend of 14,000 in 2018. That said, for major kitchen remodels defined as replacing all of the cabinets and appliances, the median spend has increased slightly since 2017. For kitchens over 200 square feet, the median spend is now reported at 35,000 and 24,000 for kitchens under 200 square feet. Median spend on master bathroom has increased gradually since 2015 from 6,000 to 8,000 in 2019. For major bathroom remodels defined as replacing cabinetry, countertops, and toilet, the median spend rooms over 100 square feet has increased to 17,000 for 2019 projects. The median spend for major bathroom remodels under 100 square feet has remained steady at 10,000 since 2015. It is also interesting to note that when we look back at our data since 2015, median spend on home offices has reached its peak in 2018 at 1,500, and now is back to its 2015 levels at 1,000. The same is true for median spend on living rooms. We reported an uptick in median spend at 3,400 in 2018, while this year the median spend on this room is at 3,000, consistent with its levels in 2015. Closets, on the other hand, had fluctuations in the median spend from 2015 through 2017, while in the last 2 years, the median spend has been stable at $700. In contrast, median spend on laundry rooms has been remarkably stable in the last 5 years.
So lots of data there, and those numbers are really interesting. I think it's great to get a snapshot of the state of renovation spending. So based on the responses, it seems like pros may need to prepare for future projects with a smaller scope. And next, what are the differences in renovation spend across different regions?
San Jose area maintained its position and doubled the national median spend, while San Francisco exhibited one of the largest drops from 25,000 in 2018 to 20,000 this year. Therefore, San Francisco dropped from the second spot for the first time since we have fielded this report. Although considerably less than repeat leader San Jose, Boston now reports the second highest median renovation spend by metro area. These are followed closely by expensive coastal metro areas, including Los Angeles, Miami, San Diego, and San Francisco. New York fell from the top 5, as Houston, New Orleans, and Washington all fell out of top 10. Phoenix and Austin made their fresh appearances on the top 10 list in 2019. We also looked at the biggest changes in renovation from year to year. Nashville and San Diego had the largest percentage increase, while Providence, Rhode Island, New Orleans, and Hartford, Connecticut all dropped their spend by 50% from the prior year.
It's really interesting to see the changes in markets and shifting spend, and I'm sure it must keep pros on their toes when they know that their future potential clients' project sizes could go up or down from year to year and sometimes quite dramatically. And now let's move on from renovation spend. What types of projects did homeowners take on in 2019?
Hope, interior room remodels continue to be the most common renovation project among homeowners, with 70% of renovating homeowners taking on an interior project, followed by a home system and exterior upgrades at about 3 in 10 homeowners. The average renovating homeowner tackled nearly 3 interior room remodels and or 3 room additions. The average number of projects per homeowner has been trending downward slightly in the most categories since 2017. Consistent with past years, kitchens continue to be the most commonly renovated interior spaces in 2019, followed by bathrooms. Home offices were addressed by 1 in 10 renovating homeowners in house, with millennials slightly more likely to take on a home office project than a baby boomer. Among additions, the most common rooms were master bathrooms, closets, and laundry rooms, each at 2%. Shares of home improvement related product purchases have been declining compared with the last year. The top 3 purchases were paint, light fixtures, and facets and shower heads in 2019, though the products most commonly researched online before purchases were appliances and standalone items such as bathtubs and fireplaces.
I think those numbers share a lot of insight into what homeowners value in their homes, and we can see that kitchens and master bathrooms continue to remain important each year that we field the survey. Now, for our next question, I think pros really want to know, what does this year's survey show us about professional hiring in 2019?
Overall, pro hiring has been stable in the last 3 years, and homeowners are continuing to hire more than 1 pro on average. About 9 in 10 renovating homeowners hired at least 1 professional to work on their home improvement project in 2019. Among homeowners who renovated their homes, specialty service providers were the most commonly hired renovation professionals, with an average of 1.7 specialty service providers hired. Specialty service provider hiring is direct hire, meaning that it does not include any specialists hired with the help of construction manager. Construction professionals were the next most hired group, of over 1 in 3 homeowners bringing on a general contractor, builder, design build company, and or kitchen and bath remodeler. Design-related pros, often hired by homeowners irrespective of renovations, were hired by 1 in 5 renovating homeowners. And this includes kitchen or bath designers, architects, interior designers or decorators, landscape architects or designers, and lighting designers. Hope, it is also noteworthy to point out here that subsequent surveys fielded during the coronavirus pandemic have shown that 3/4 of homeowners on Houzz with ongoing residential renovation and design projects were working with home professionals, while taking advantage of online collaboration tools as well as following health and safety precautionary measures.
Marinae, it's quite significant that half of renovating homeowners are hiring specialty service providers only. Either they are acting as a construction manager or designer, or they're taking on small enough projects that do not need project management. Now, let's discuss demographics. What are the differences in renovation across generations?
55% of renovating homeowners are baby boomers, Hope, followed by Gen X at 30% and millennials at 12%. This makes sense as according to March 2020 study in the US Census Bureau, 3 in 4 people age 55 or over own a home, while only 38% of people 34 or younger do so. Homeownership paired with the accumulated wealth allows Gen Xers and baby boomers to dominate the space of renovation and design. As for the younger generations, though, they do not shy away from decorating and personalizing their home spaces. The share of decorators was the largest among Gen Z and millennial homeowners, and lower for Gen X and baby boomers. Younger generations' great appetite to decorate showed up indoors as well as outdoors.
I think that makes a lot of sense that the younger generations would have more decorating activity than remodeling. And hopefully, their interest in home improvement will mean that they turn into remodeling clients in the future. For our final question, I'm wondering, why do homeowners renovate, and did those reasons change in 2019 compared to the past?
So, the number one reason for tackling a home renovation project has remained stable for the past 5 years. Homeowners wanted to do it all along. In 2019, 57% of renovating homeowners cited the top reason for starting their project as wanting to do it all along and finally having the time, means, or both. The number two reason was wanting to customize a recently purchased home, as reported by 24% of renovating homeowners. Addressing damage in the home due to age, adapting recent changes in lifestyle were among the third and the fourth most popular reasons cited by the renovating homeowners. These sentiments are explained by two findings in our house and home study. One is that homeowners 40 and over drive the renovation activity in the US by the share of projects as well as by the spend. Two, the majority of homeowners in that age group moved into their home 6 or more years ago and plan to stay in their current home for 11 years or more. This easily sheds some light into the pent-up demand behind the top motivations of wanting to do it all along. Indeed, American Community Survey also finds that the median duration of homeownership in the US is 13 years, and it has increased from a median 10 years in 2008. While there are regional differences, people are staying in their homes longer than in years and decades past.
It's fascinating to see that the reasons for renovating stay so constant and that homeowners plan to stay in their homes for so long. Hopefully, pros can get this information from their clients as part of their intake process and convince potential clients to take on the project so they can enjoy it for the many years that they'll be in the home. So, Marini, now that we've covered the items on our agenda, before we go, do you have any final thoughts?
So, following significant growth in home renovation activity over the past 5 years, we are seeing the market settle somewhat in terms of the scope and spend. Baby boomers, particularly those who have been in their homes for more than 6 years, are continuing to drive renovation activity and spend, bringing consistency to the market as they pursue projects that will allow them to age in place for the next decade or more. That said, we're also closely monitoring our industry to understand the impact of the pandemic might potentially have in the long run, since we believe that the deferred renovation and design activities will accrue during this period, setting the stage for a renewed burst of projects and trends following the pandemic.
Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense, and I anticipate seeing the data on those shifts in activity. Well, thank you so much, Marine, for taking the time to present this research. I know many people, myself included, look forward to the study every year, and I hope it gives our audience a better understanding of what's happening in the industry. And of course, thank you to all who tuned in. We appreciate you spending part of your day with us. If you'd like to read the full report, please check it out at houzz.com/research. And we hope you'll join us for future Houzz webinars.